So one of the things I've learned from hanging out with ultra successful and rich folk is the skill of setting up strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships. Now, that's not to say, you're my friend, I'm your friend, let's go out there and do some business. Oh yeah, you work here, I work here, let's go do deals together. We're talking about strategic, okay? That's something that's planned. It's put together. You bring something to the table, I bring something to the table. So today's video, I want to show you how we put together partnerships, AKA joint ventures. I'm going to show you a deal that I just did, and I chose to have my partner as the homeowner. So this real estate deal, I'm going to walk you down how we partnered up with a seller, a homeowner, to do this real estate transaction, okay? We call it equity sharing. I'm going to get some of the equity and the homeowner will get some of the equity upon us selling the property. You must understand the documents and how to put together a successful joint venture if you're going to have some longevity in this business, the real estate business or any business. You can't do it all by yourself. That's one of the things I've learned. It took me many, many years to learn that. Get around the right people so you can get these partnerships done, all right? Let's go over this stuff together. All right, class, it's Chris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. So today I get the honor to just document with you. I ain't got time to be going out doing all videos and stuff, making up things. I'm literally documenting deals we're doing right now because I want this to be incredibly believable for you. Okay, a lot of gurus out there, all they do is stay behind the board. I'm not mad at them for doing that, but we take you to the field. And this house, I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's so crazy. People, they want to sell me a house from time to time, and they say, well, my house isn't ugly, doesn't need a lot of work. I'm like, well, those are the best ones I want to buy. I want to buy houses that don't need a lot of work. I don't want to be, as Ron LeGrand says, a junkie junker, a junker junkie. What is a junker junkie? I don't want to just do ugly houses. So today, we're going to go over the paperwork here. I'm going to give you some paperwork. It's going to be, you'll be able to follow along. The link is in the video description. How do we put together a successful joint venture or partnership? So many times I've heard, I don't know how many times, the only ships that sink are partnerships. And I've had some bad ones. I'm not going to lie to you and say all my partnerships have been good. But what I've learned, if you learn how to be strategic with these things, that means if you understand who's bringing what to the table, if you know the who, what, when, where, and how of your partnership or your joint venture, then you can be successful. You see, a lot of times we get into these joint ventures and we do them merely because the person is there. Okay, you're here, I'm here, oh, you're here. We come here together every day. I was here at the gym. That stuff doesn't work because a lot of times your values aren't aligned. Your goals aren't aligned, and what you bring to the table is so one-sided, it was doomed from the beginning, okay? So you're gonna see, what did this homeowner bring to the table? We did a partnership with a homeowner. It's crazy. You have to understand how real estate works. That's what gives you a long career, okay? So once you understand this, who, what, when, where, and how, then you can back into how to put the partnership together, all right? So this one here is a real estate partnership or any type of business partnership. You got to have your paperwork right, all right? So go ahead and follow along. There's a link in the video description where you can actually I'm going to give you my joint venture agreement. I believe so thoroughly, and I'm so emotional and vigilant when it comes to us and my community understanding joint ventures. I'm going to give you my docs, okay? The reason I'm doing this is because I personally feel what holds my community back, we don't know how to work together. We simply do not know how to join arms and walk together. I know my boy Mike always says, Chris, you can go fast if you do it by yourself. You can get it done fast, but you can go long when you work with people, okay? So download your joint standard, and don't forget, everything's standard in my world. Everything's standard. I'm gonna go over this. So the first thing we have to understand is the contributions. Who's bringing what to the table? Let's start at the top, all right? And who is actually involved in this? Here's your standard joint venture agreement. Let me back up for again too. So the backstory is, guy came to sell me a piece of property, piece of real estate. It was probably worth about $325, maybe. He owed $225 roughly, and he wanted to get $50,000 out of the deal. And I'm like, you know what? There's no way I can do that deal. I can't give you that much and still make money. So we agreed to a smaller amount. However, the kicker was, I told him I would agree to $36,500 if he were to let me take over his mortgage payments. Okay, so you're gonna see all this. What I learned is documents just back up what the words you say to the homeowner or to whomever you're doing the agreement with. Let me repeat that. The documents are just in place to back up what the agreement is that you talk to people. So the agreement with this seller was, listen, I'll take the property from you, I'll fix it all the way up, and upon selling it, I will give you $36,500. You see, the deal was a little bit too tight for me to give him to pay his loan off, which was $225 roughly, and then give him $36,500, and then me fix it up and pay all the fees and realtor fees and closing costs and all that stuff, and make $20,000 to $25,000. That didn't work for me. However, if he let me take over the mortgage payment, that way I didn't have to actually pay the loan off and then pay him at closing when I sell it, now the deal makes a lot more sense. So if you want to see the complete walkthrough and that full deal walk down, that video is going to be right there. I'm taking you inside. I'm showing you all the numbers on the specifics on the real estate deal. This video here is going to go over the specifics on the partnership agreement between me and the homeowner. Okay, a lot of moving parts on this one, y'all. And I don't want you to get discouraged. A lot of us think that real estate can be done so fast in our Instagram world. We think that that real estate can be done so quickly, or you can learn it so fast. I approach real estate like brain surgery. There's so many layers to it. It's so much to learn. It is so magic. Real estate is magical. And once you learn the moving parts of how it works, it's truly cool. All right, let's get started. Our standard joint venture agreement, this dated, whatever the date is made by and between me, that's partner one is going to be me, Kris Haskins, and or nominees, having a mailing address of whatever, and our seller, let's just call him Mr. Joe. He's going to be P2 or partner 2, having an address of, that's the address to the property. All right, the purpose. Why are we here? Why are we agreeing to do this strategic partnership? Well, the purpose of this joint venture is to fix up a piece of property and sell it. All right. That's it. Real simple. Okay. And the address is right there. Number 2, the address of the property is right there, and the tax parcel. The term of this agreement. The term of this agreement will expire when said house is sold and neither partner has a deed of trust or any interest in the property, or unless terminated in writing by the other partner. Both parties agree our intent is to have said property fixed up and sold in under 6 months, and will exercise all means to do so. Neither party shall owner finance or enter into any finance-like agreement with a third party. All right. So the first thing we have to outline in our partnership or joint venture is our contributions. Who's bringing what to the table? Remember at the beginning of our video, people do partnerships and don't nobody bring nothing to the table, or you're bringing all this stuff and the other person's bringing nothing, or you bring nothing. That's what kills me the worst. A lot of these wholesalers and people want to find a deal and then they want to partner with me just because they brought a deal 50-50. I'm putting up all the money, all the resources, all the contractors, all the brokers, all the effort, energy, and time to get this deal done. And all you did was give me an address. I just can't give 50% on that. So just be wise and have a little bit of wisdom when you go about approaching somebody about doing a joint venture. All right, there's a lot of things involved. So you don't want to have it like you bringing a little bit and the other person's bringing all this. Get out of here. I'm saying that lovingly. So just keep that in mind. And some people say, well, how come nobody wants to do business with me? First thing I ask them, what do you bring to the table? Okay, what is your contribution? So you look at, there's a bunch of X's down here. I want you to kind of take a look at this. This is number 4. Now, partner 1 is me, partner 2 is the seller. So partner 2 will contribute approximately $223,000 toward the property acquisition and closing costs. So he already owns the property. I think he paid $250, $264. He paid it down to $223. So the good thing about this is he brings all that financing. So that's a big thing in my eyes. You see, financing, in my opinion, is a lot more important than the real estate. I don't mind having a nasty piece of real estate with great financing as opposed to having the best piece of real estate in town and your financing sucks. All right, I've learned that over time. So the next one, partner one, you see all the X's are going down the left side because I'm bringing everything else to do this deal. Partner one will contribute $2,000 toward property acquisition. It was actually $4,000 I had to pay to close this thing. Partner one will contribute $20,000 to $25,000 towards construction and fix up. All right. Next, partner one will pay for all real estate taxes. I'm paying that because when I take over his loan payments, I'm going to be making the payments and paying the real estate taxes inside of the loan payment. The loan payment includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Okay. Partner one will pay for hazard insurance. It's rolled into the loan as well. Partner one will be responsible for all utilities. I'll cut the power and the water on. The next one, partner one shall be responsible for monthly loan payment to any lenders. Once again, I'm paying that too. Partner one shall be responsible for any construction overages. Y'all know who this thing is. You never have renovations that goes under. It always goes over. So I just put a number there, and the homeowner, I put that there because I wanted him to feel comfortable that I'm prepared to spend more if I have to. So I'm hoping that this renovation is only going to be $25K. And that video a few minutes ago will show you what we're doing inside. Okay, profit or loss. How do we get paid? How does each partner realize the money in this deal? All right, as of whatever date, July, under this contract, when property is sold, partner one's contribution of $18,000 to $25,000, that's me. I'm putting up $25K. And partner two's contribution of approximately $223,000. Remember, that's his loan that he went and got. So that's the loan that he has in place that we took over. So that's what he brought to the table. I'm bringing $25,000 for the reno. The $223,000 will be returned, mortgage paid off, and each party will be paid upon the sale. Both partners agree to be compensated when said property is sold at the following. Partner one, that's me, will be paid any gain above $260,000 from the sale of the property based on a payoff of approximately $223,000 payable to the mortgage company. Okay, so let's see if I can flash up to you. The payoff on this thing was roughly $223,000. Now in real estate, you don't want to beat up people down to the dollar. I never forget the story. I've probably heard it a million times. The guy wanted to work with me. He wanted every deal we did to be calculated down to the dime. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not doing it. I don't have time to be crunching all these numbers. We're dealing with thousands and sometimes close to the nearest 5,000. Okay, so we're gonna calculate our gain after we pay out the loan, and it has to be above $260,000. So make sure you read this real closely. So partner two, that's my homeowner. He will be paid by the gain $36,000 above the current mortgage payoff. So remember, we told him at the beginning we're going to give him $36,500. Okay, the payoff's $223 or $224. So all we did was calculate roughly. We added his $36,500 plus the $223 that we owe the lender, and that's where we get the $260. Partner two's payment will be made before any profits go to partner one. So I agreed to pay him first before I get paid. I feel, in my opinion, that's how you have a long, successful real estate career. You make sure everybody else gets their money and then you get yours. Man, your career will be long. The more money you make other people, the more money you'll make. All right, number 6, liability. Who's liable for what? Okay, and this one, I didn't necessarily have to put it here because it's understood that the liability insurance is being paid through the mortgage company. So we left that open. It's already there. It wasn't like we had to worry about that one. All right. So number 7, duties. What are you going to do? Who's going to do what? We already know who's bringing what. We already know how we're going to get paid. We already know what happens is liability, who's covering that. Generally speaking, I would have an insurance policy on the property, but he's already got one. Now, what are the duties? Who does what? Okay. And if you notice here, if you look at our joint venture agreement, it's really cool because you want to weigh more. What I'm bringing to the table is energy, effort, time. I'm building in my equity. You want to do as much work if you're not bringing the bulk of the money. That's how the magic happens, okay? So number 7, partner 2 will manage and verify funds are delivered to the mortgage company on time. So I'm actually paying him. Well, the first payment I paid him, but I'll take the other one into the lender. But I want to make sure that when I pay the lender, he'll verify that it's paid. Partner 1 next is responsible for on-site management, executive and compliance duties as required. Next, will assist in construction management and sales strategy. That means I'm going to manage all the contractors, make sure the property is renovated properly, and then I'll list it for sale. So all my homeowner has to do is sit back and wait for a check. Ron LeGrand says, listen, all you got to do is write a check, get a bigger check. Well, in this case, my homeowner doesn't even have to write a check. He's just getting a check. Next, partner 1 will interface with realtor or real estate broker for the sale of the property. I'll do that. Partner 1 next will also oversee and manage all construction, manage all subs, material delivery. Delivery's big. Maintaining landscape, dumpster, all permits, all that stuff. And both parties shall provide financial accounting to each other upon request every 30 days, if you have to do that. Number 8, insurance. We didn't have to worry about that, is because it's built into the loan. All right, number 9, non-disclosure. I didn't put it up here, but I just don't want, if you look here, I don't want, both parties agree that they will not disclose or reveal without written permission the confidential business information about the other partner. I just don't want people out there sharing how we do business. Unless you're one of my followers, you know I got much love for you. I'm teaching you this, but I don't want people out there knowing exactly how we put this stuff together. And number 10, contingent person. I won't say change, but a contingent person. You see, what happens in life and in business, people get struck by lightning, they get hit by buses, they pass away, they get sick, they get abducted by UFOs. Anything can happen. I'm being facetious. However, I want to know what will happen if I get taken out of the equation, and what will happen if my seller gets taken out of the equation. Real simple. Both parties hereby agree the interest of either can be assigned to a third party, right? Can be. We'll circle that one. In the event of the party becoming incapacitated or die, the market shall be sold at fair market value, and the interest of partner 1 will become interest of my business partner, and the phone number is there. Partner 2, interest will become those of whatever the homeowner's person is, and their phone number. You see, you have to get a contingent person because you don't know what's going to happen to people. People's phones go out, they lose their phone. I mean, they move out of the country, anything. So the contingent person will help you to get this thing closed. All right, how many times I've done a deal, that person, they're gone. They no longer work here. A lot of things could happen. All right, and number 11, what was that, 10? Number 11 is just legal jargon about if you have an issue within the partnership or the joint venture. So you kind of see how it's all structured. Everything is lined out. Boom, 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 boom. I don't want any questions when it comes to my business and how I'm going to make money. The reason I know this stuff is because I've done deals where it wasn't clear. Oh, he'll cover that, or she'll do that over there. That never works. I'm stressing to you, it's not going to work if you think somebody's going to, my mentor says, Chris, if you think somebody's going to treat your money how you would treat it, you got another thing coming. Round up, so make sure you take a second to subscribe to the channel. Go down below and download my joint venture agreement. I'm giving it to you. It's an honor for me to be able to serve you, all right? I'm just giving it to you. Make sure you fill it out before you do business, and do it on every deal. Don't just sit back and get lazy. If you just do it on one, do it on each one of them. Like this content, but further, I need you to share this stuff, man. I need our community to understand, how can we work together? How can we come together and make some money together? Because the secret is collective finance. Collective finance. How do we make money together? You cannot do this all on your own. The secret is being able to work together and hopefully getting some camaraderie between the people you work with. All right, this is Chris Haskins, and I'll see you on the next video. Get out there and get your partnership done. Okay.